Hi, welcome back to Box's Delights game channel. I wanted to do a quick podcast of this new game I've picked up called Love Letter. It's proven to be a big hit, and when I saw a copy for sale, I had to pick it up. It's a very quick and light game, and I'll give you a quick run through just to show you how this game plays. It's not expensive, and there's not very much in the box. So you have a plastic wrap, we have a little bag, a little drawstring bag, and this is what you keep the game in, so it's quite handy to take around with you. It's a little two-player dueling card game. You can play 3 or 4 players as well, actually. You've got a little rule book. You get 16 cards, and then there's some reference cards, one for each 1 to 4 players. And some little red cubes. These are like little love tokens. Okay. Let's set up and play a few little hands of this game. At the start of the game, you just need to shuffle all 16 cards. You're going to deal 1 face down, and this kind of removes a random card from the game. And then if you're playing 2-player, remove an additional 3 and place them face up, so you have a clue as to what other cards have been removed from the game. Then we have a draw pile, and each player is going to draw a hand of 1 card from here. The aim of the game is to be either the only player left in the round, or at the end of the round, which is when we run out of cards here, to be the person holding the card with the highest number in the top left corner. Each card has some text which either is effective when you play the card or when you draw the card. Let's start with the player here on the left. So he's got a hand of 1 card and he draws the princess. It says if you discard this card, you're out of the round. This is the highest valued card. The player on the right has the guard, which has a value 1. This is the lowest valued card. So to take a turn, all you do is grab the card in your hand and draw 1 card from the deck. The aim is that you're a suitor and you're trying to get a love letter to the princess. Unfortunately, she's locked herself in the palace, so you've got to rely on intermediaries like the guard to carry this message. But during the game you can only hold 1 secret card in your hand, and this represents who's currently carrying the message of love for the princess. Because I'm holding the princess itself here, I'm currently winning the game. But each turn I have to play one of these cards. I don't want to discard this one because I'm out of the round, and if I'm out of the round I lose the game, so I've got to hold this. It says name a non-guard card and choose another player. If that player has that card, he or she is out of the round. Now I know the odds of which cards might be in their hand because I have this reference card here. I know that mostly there's the guard, and it says I can't choose the guard, but then we've got 2 priests, 2 barons, 2 handmaids, 2 princes. Now I know one of the priests is here and one of the handmaidens here, so there's a good chance, most likely, he's got either the baron or the prince. So let's name Baron. Remember, the card I played says name a non-guard card. I've named Baron. Choose another player. If that player has that card, he or she is out of the round. And in a 2-player game, out of the round means I've won. Does my opponent have the Baron? No, they have a guard. So my opponent doesn't have to show the card. You know, your opponent's supposed to be honest and says, no, I don't have the Baron. But now it's their turn and they'll draw a card and play one. So let's remind us, we have a guard in our hand. Let's draw a card. Now we've got a priest. I've improved my hand from a 1 to a 2. I don't know what my opponent's holding, but I could play the priest to look at another opponent's hand, but of course then I'll be stuck with my 1 again. Or I could use the guard and have a crack at knocking my opponent out. What we'll do first though is we'll use the priest. We can look at their hand, and then I can use the guard in combination on the next turn and hopefully win the hand. So let's play priest, and I get to look at my opponent's hand, so I know that they have the princess. Now it's this player's turn. They're going to draw, and we have a guard now. I can't discard the princess, so I'm going to go guard again. Now I know that my opponent knows I've got the princess, so if he's got a guard, I'm going to lose this hand. Right, let's try again. I've tried Baron. I knew that they didn't have that, unless they just drew it. Let's try Prince. We'll say Prince. And of course, my opponent doesn't have the Prince, it has guard, so this player says, no, I don't have the Prince. My turn. I'll draw. Let's see what we get. A Baron. Well, I'm going to just play my guard now, because I know that they have the princess. So we'll play guard, we'll name the princess. This player says, yes, I do have the princess. So this player is out of the round. This player wins. And the Baron successfully delivers the love letter to the princess. And this player gets a love token. So you can see a hand of this game plays quite quickly. All we do now is we'll take all these cards, we'll shuffle them back up, and we'll deal another hand. Okay, so remember, we take one card and we discard it. We take 3 cards, discard those face up. We deal 1 card to each player, and the winner of the previous round goes first. So the player on the right has a handmaid. And this says, until your next turn, ignore all effects from other players' cards if you played that card. And we have the Baron. You and another player secretly compare hands. The player with the lowest value is out of the round. Right, so I'm going to take a bit of a chance here on my first turn, and I'm going to play the Baron, keep hold of the handmaid. Let's choose another player, and we compare our hands. My opponent has the Prince. I have the handmaid. Player with the lowest value is out of the round. So unfortunately this little challenge backfired on me. The player on the right loses, the player on the left wins, and the Prince delivers the love letter and takes a token of the princess's affection. 1-1. Let's go again. Okay, we'll discard 1 face down, 3 face up. Oh, we got rid of both barons this time. Deal a card to each player. This player's going to go first. And we have the Prince. Choose any player, including yourself, to discard his or her hand and draw a new card. Let's draw and see what else we get. Okay, we get the handmaid. Until your next turn, ignore all effects from others' players' cards. Alright, well let's play the handmaid. Of course, by playing the handmaid, you're kind of implying that the other card you've got has got a higher value, which it does. You know, but you could be bluffing. Or it could be that you play the Prince, make your opponent think you've got something even better. Alright. Or is this a bluff in itself, and you've actually got a Baron or a Priest here? Well, we know that both the Barons are up here, so there's a good chance that you've got something higher rather than a Priest or a Guard here. Maybe the Priest. You know, your player's got to understand how you play this game. Are you a bluffing kind of person, or can they get the better of you? Let's see what the player on the right has. Oh wow, we've got the King. The King says trade hands with another player of your choice. Well, remember, our opponent's protected by the handmaid at the moment. We got a Guard. Let's play the Guard down. But of course, this player's immune to that Guard's effect. So let's go back to this player. Now we've got a Guard. Choose a non-Guard card and choose another player. If that player has that card, he or she is out of the round. Okay, let's play Guard. when you play your other card, play them stacked so that your opponent can see the order in which you played them. Right, well, there's a good chance that my opponent has the king, the countess, or the princess. I've got the prince. They could have the other prince. I know that they could have a priest. Let's name the priest, because that's the most I know there's one here as well. The odds are quite favourable all over the place. Let's guess something good. Let's guess prince. This player looks, says, no, I don't have the prince. And now takes his turn. The countess, that's a 7, which is much better than the king. However, it says if you have this card and the king or prince is in your hand, you must discard this card. So I have to play the countess. So my opponent knows if you've discarded the countess, it's either because you have the prince or because you have the king, or you're bluffing. I'm going to guess that this person has the king because that's the most likely now. So we'll play a guard. We'll announce king. This player says, yep, you're right, you got me. He's out of the round. This player grabs another token of the princess's affection as the prince successfully delivers the love letter. So that's it. You keep playing hands until one of you wins a number of tokens based on the number of players. So for 2 players that's 7 tokens, 3 it's 5, and for 4 players 4 tokens. And you can see each hand of this game is quite quick. It could be over on the first deal of the card, it could be over, a lot further down. There's a lot of bluffing and guesswork going on. It's a lot of fun. See if you can pick up a copy. It's quite cheap and a great little game to use as a filler. And not only that, it fits neatly in your pocket. That's it for now. See you next time.